Exclusively on the Discovery Channel.
Good take.
Good.
Beneath the crumbling walls of communism, beyond the political face, this is the story of an enduring Russia, across open tundra and into the taiga, over summer meadows and beyond the fertile steppes. Embark on a 3-hour journey across the rarely seen landscape of Russian life. Empire of the Red Bear. Tonight at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Meet the plane for Beyond 2000. It has wings on its nose and propellers at the rear. We'll find out why it has the aviation industry sitting up and taking notice. Jeff Watson discovers a man who's either perfected a safe lawnmower or who has the toughest feet in the world. And Amanda puts her best foot forward and gets plastered for her trouble, but all for a good cause. Hello and welcome to Beyond 2000. In 1729, British poet James Bramston wrote, "Music hath charms to soothe the savage beast." But if you've ever tried to learn piano, you'll know there's one thing it isn't. And that's soothing. It can be downright frustrating, and many give it up before they get it right. But what if someone reinvented the piano to make it easier to play? Simon Reeve has found just such a person.
It's a scene and a sound repeated in millions of homes around the world every day. And like most children learning piano, this young lady is struggling with an age-old problem. Little hands trying to play a grown-up's musical instrument. But what do you do when you're all grown up and your hands are still too small? Hey, no problem. You invent a new piano keyboard. We're listening to an original composition by Kanpei Muto in a small studio in Tokyo. A trumpet, a trombone, and a piano, but as they say, this is no ordinary piano. It's called a rapian, and at the risk of calling on an old cliche, you'll probably be hearing more of that name in the years ahead. 20-year-old Kanpei-san has been a student of the piano for 6 years. For someone with relatively small hands, it was never an easy road. But rather than give up, this industrious young man decided to attack the problem like no one had done before, turning hundreds of years of convention upside down. The sound produced by the rapian and the internal structure are exactly the same as a conventional piano, but as you can see, it's the keyboard that's radically different. There are still 88 notes as on a conventional piano, but on the rapian, they're spread out over 5 rows rather than 2. If I play horizontally along the piano, I move up a whole tone for each note, or if I play diagonally down the 5 rows, I move down half a tone for each note. Although the keys on the rapian are narrower than on a conventional piano, the space between them gives you a greater area to strike, which for fumblers like me can be a pretty big bonus. But perhaps the most important function is that the same finger position can be used for every scale. I think the Royal Albert Hall can wait. The rapian can be applied to any forms of music, jazz, rock, and classical. Kyoe Kitajima, a 19-year-old student of the classics, says this keyboard has opened up a whole new world for her. It took 3 years for Kanpei-san to perfect his design. He says he didn't set out to challenge the establishment, simply to offer a viable alternative should people like the idea. This is the first working prototype. black keys can be built in, should you so desire. A Rappian keyboard is already in place on an electric piano. It seems the potential for this ingenious invention is boundless. Whether or not it achieves commercial success is almost a secondary consideration for Kanpei-san. Music is the most important thing in his life, and who are we to argue?
The new boat design that's leaving the others in its wake. Still to come on Beyond 2000.
Suicide missions. Tonight on Secret Weapons.
Every day should start with Quaker Oats.
Nothing cold can steam you up and help keep you rolling all morning like hot Quaker oatmeal.
Every day should feel this good.
Here is the Subaru Legacy L sedan that you can lease for $199 a month. Here is the Subaru Legacy L sedan that you can buy with up to $3,000 in savings. Both come equipped with features like four-wheel disc brakes, driver's side airbag, air conditioning, and power windows, mirrors, and door locks. So come into a Subaru dealer and test drive a new Legacy, like the one here that you can lease for only $199 a month. Or was that the one you can buy with up to $3,000 in savings? Anyway, you better hurry. This is a limited time offer.
What's new from the Budget Gourmet?
Things that make you go, mmm.
Introducing Special Selections entrees. 12 new tastes at new low prices. It's budget, it's gourmet, it's both.
We are on the forefront of attempting to develop entrepreneurship as a way of life here. MCI understands that this is a two-way street.
Businesses in the community band together through the chamber. With Proof Positive, you save money. You always get MCI's best price. MCI always does what's right for you.
It's helped us grow small businesses and the large businesses.
It's not just one business out there, it's the whole community trying to make Sioux City a better place to live.
Embark on a 3-hour journey across the enduring landscape of ancient Russia. Empire of the Red Bear. Tonight at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
When Australia, too, captured the America's Cup back in 1983, much of its success in the 4-3 victory over Dennis Conner's Liberty was attributed to its revolutionary winged keel, which represented a major and radical departure from traditional hull design. Recently, another Australian boat design breakthrough, although not yet widely known, has begun to attract international attention, initially at the prestigious ship model testing basis in the Netherlands, where it's been described as the most significant advance in marina hulls this century. It's called the Stollcraft. Surfer's paradise on Queensland's Gold Coast. Arguably Australia's most popular tourist resort. It's also one of the world's most spectacular cities, with high-rise apartments side by side with over 150 kilometres of marinas, waterways and canals. An ideal place to launch the world's first commercial version of the revolutionary Stollcraft. Operating here as a small-scale 40-passenger ferry, the vessel looks anything but revolutionary. But its unique hull design, the main features of which are not visible while the craft is in the water, make it one of the fastest, safest, most maneuverable and economical high-performance boats in the world. We'll take a closer look at the hull in a moment. In its role as a passenger vessel, it has some extraordinary features. Because of its very shallow draft, it can operate right up to beaches which have no wharves or landing facilities to load and offload passengers. Its twin water jet engines also enable it to sail into confined spaces and maneuver out again with ease. The small speedboat, which also uses the Stollcraft hull design, is a good platform from which to assess some of the larger vessel's other qualities, particularly at speed.
You can see how flat the wake is from this position, and that's very important in these enclosed waterways where the Stollcraft has a special dispensation to travel at up to 30 knots, whereas other craft are restricted to only 6 knots.
The key to the craft's performance is that once it gets up speed, it rides on a cushion of air, not unlike a hovercraft, but without the skirts and mechanical air ducting. Once it's up, 80% of its weight is supported by the dynamic forces of the air and water. From the front, you can see how the triple hull forms 2 huge scoops, which funnel air back under the boat. What happens there can be seen more clearly out of the water, at a small factory outside of Surfers Paradise, where 2 more ferries are under construction.
You get a pretty good view of the 3 hulls from here, but it's a deceptive view because you think that this middle hull goes all the way through to the rear, but it doesn't. It stops just back here. And it creates this flat void area here, under which a big bubble of air forms to effectively lift the craft up so that it can skim along the surface of the water. These 2 transverse steps here on either side, plus the one behind the middle hull, are important elements in the design. The sudden break in the flow of the water as it comes through here creates a vacuum which tends to suck the air in faster and hold it in here underneath the void area. A very simple but effective way of lifting the craft up at speed.
It's one of the few craft ever created that has both a very shallow draft and yet very, very good sea-keeping characteristics. It could get into very shallow water, it's extremely maneuverable, and at the same time, it will handle big seas. It'll handle seas up to 2 or 3 meters.
The 2 boats under construction will also be water buses or ferries, but there are several other applications which include firefighting and rescue boats, naval patrol boats or police or customs vessels, and of course, larger private launches, for all of which the Stollcraft hull is ideal. In terms of performance, the Stollcraft has stunning capabilities. Its top speed is around 40 knots, and it can stop from that almost in its own length, and turn also in its own length. Its sea-keeping ability in rough weather is outstanding, described by the Netherlands Ship Model Testing Basin as superior to monohulls and conventional planing craft. This, and the fact that it's 20 to 30% cheaper to operate than all forms of hydrofoils and air cushion vehicles like hovercraft, makes the future of the Stollcraft design look very bright.
I just got this letter from Watto. Dear Carmel, having a great time. Please see Strip for all the hot gossip from the UK. Love, Jeff. Well, that's very mysterious because I can't read it, but my computer can. It's this odd-looking strip here, and it's actually a new way to distribute computer programs and data. The soft strip, as it's called, is similar to a barcode, but it holds much more information. 7 of these laser-printed strips, like this, are equivalent to 12 pages of information. Normally, computer programs are stored on hard or floppy disk or cassette, a bit like these. And to copy these, you need a lot of memory backup. But with this new method, by using just your computer, special software, and an ordinary printer, you can reproduce computer programs on paper. And the main advantage of this method is that computer programs or data can be copied more easily. For instance, using an ordinary photocopier. Now, to read Jeff's letter into the computer, I use this optical reader here. Inside this cutaway version, you can see the trolley moving down the strip, shining an infrared light onto it. The dark dots absorb the light and the white ones reflect it. This wheel here scans those strips, converting the optical light into electrical signals which are sent to the computer. And here is all the hot news and gossip from the UK. It's extremely private. Data strips are compatible with a wide range of different computers. For example, a soft strip produced on a Macintosh could be read by an IBM. And in the future, soft strips could be printed in this way here into school textbooks, giving you moving graphics and perhaps even sound on accompanying computer images. Or our future Medicare or credit cards could store a whole lot of encrypted and therefore confidential data on strips like this. Printing computer programs onto paper seems almost a backward step, particularly when we thought computers would usher in the paperless office. It's funny, but as a method of distributing information in the most economical and convenient way, paper just can't seem to be beaten.
After the break on Beyond 2000, the instrument to make life easier.
I shampoo for dandruff, but my scalp still itches.
Now there's Scalpicin for deep scalp itch, not ordinary dandruff. It's clear liquid, not shampoo. With itch medicine doctors chose over these dandruff shampoo formulas.
The itch is gone.
Scalpicin.
For those who want to escape a gridlocked world, BMW has created the new all-season 325i convertible. It opens a whole new world, 365 days a year.
When the U.S. swim team needs eardrops, there's no competition. Murine eardrops for wax removal. Murine, the official eardrops of the U.S. swim team.
Beneath the crumbling walls of communism, beyond the political face, this is the story of an enduring Russia, across open tundra and into the taiga, over summer meadows and beyond the fertile steppes. Embark on a 3-hour journey across the rarely seen landscape of Russian life. Empire of the Red Bear. Tonight at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Nothing changes faster these days than the field of medicine. Fortunately, CNBC, the American Medical Association, and TCI Cablevision have a roadmap to help you eat right, exercise smart, and keep up with the kids.
2 sets of hands are better than 1, especially when there are 3 hungry mouths to feed.
The main reason we're seeing more multiple births in this country now is the use of treatment for infertility.
American Medical Television, a weekend block of health, 9:30 to 2 on CNBC and TCI Cablevision. The long, hot summer is over, and it's time for fall.
And blocks.
And tackles.
That's right. School's back in session, and the college boys are back on the gridiron.
From the Big Ten to the CFA to the Pac-10 and more, nobody brings you the games like ESPN.
Thursday nights and weekends, don't miss college football on ESPN, your total sports network, and TCI Cablevision.
Your leg can be painful enough, but anyone who's worn a plaster will tell you that the healing process can be 6 months of frustration and irritation. However, here in England, research doctors have found an alternative to getting plastered. The problem with plaster, particularly on the leg, is that it immobilizes the entire limb. Joints become stiff and muscles waste away, so that even after the bone has healed, it can take months to rehabilitate the limb. Enter the external fixator, a rigid bar outside the leg that holds the bones in place with metal pins. It's a new and fast way to heal fractures. It looks extremely gruesome, but its advantages outweigh its appearance. It gives doctors access to the skin and tissue that's so often damaged along with the bone in an accident. And the position of the bones can be checked on X-ray, so if a fracture isn't healing properly, it can be corrected. Richard Haywood's been wearing a fixator since a motorbike accident several months ago. The speed of his recovery has been remarkable. So much so, he's now walking 3 kilometres a day. Richard's x-rays tell the story. 2 months ago, a car's bumper bar did this rather unceremoniously to his lower leg. But now, as you can see, things are decidedly different. The fixator certainly did its job in holding the 2 bones together, but what accelerated the healing in Richard's case was this. A slight movement to the bones every time Richard walks. It's the very latest in the line of fixators. Known as a Dynabrace, it has its wearers up and about 5 weeks earlier than their plastered friends. The movement of the fixator is tiny and controlled, but it's enough to stimulate bone cells into producing new bone, thereby speeding up the healing process. We tend to think of our skeletons as inert, but they're very much living structures. If you play tennis, the arm you serve with will become thicker in terms of bone mass than the other. If you're up in a spacecraft where gravity is 0, you'll lose bone material. So by exercising the bone, it repairs and strengthens at a faster rate.
Press down to load the fracture.
This is a fracture stiffness test to see how Richard's healing's coming along. Without the fixator, he'd be in plaster from ankle to groin. He wouldn't be able to move his knee or his ankle, and he certainly wouldn't be walking kilometres each day.
Yeah, I think I prefer this, because as you get used to it, it's okay. There's no itching involved, and you're quite free to move about and stand on it, you know, all your weight. So yeah, this is much better in my eyes.
Well, there's still one thing that my plaster has over that. You can leave your mark. Will you sign it for me?
Yeah.
To remove the Dynabrace, the pins are unscrewed, leaving tiny holes in the bone and skin that heal without worry. At the moment, the Dynabrace is just for lower leg fractures, but it's being developed for use on other bones. But until it becomes commonplace, most of us will have to put up with the old plaster, which still relies on guesswork to tell you when the bone is healed. But breakthroughs, excuse the pun, are happening here too. Dr. Collier and his colleagues at the University of Kent have devised a musical technique to monitor broken bones. When a bell rings, it resonates at a certain frequency. But if that bell's cracked, the frequency will change. And that's the same with human bones. To measure the resonance of the leg, a source of vibration is placed at the top of the bone and a sensor at the bottom. A normal bone hits about a top F sharp. If you're tone deaf, fear not. The frequency is also displayed on a digital readout. If a bone looks mended but has a lower resonance, it means it's still weak. So by listening to the leg, you can avoid doing too much too soon and risking further fractures. Anyone who's ever broken a leg will understand how important this research work can be, because at the moment, just about the only way that a doctor can tell whether a fracture is healed is by trying to bend the bone. Well, hopefully in the future, these screams of agony will be replaced by the sound of musical bones.
After the break, motorbike design comes to a fork in the road, and still to come, putting a so-called safe lawnmower to the ultimate test.
Unseen Worlds, tonight on Infinite Voyage.
These are first graders reading on a 5th grade level. We could have never done this without Hooked on Phonics.
Kipling decided to wait until late the next night when there would be fewer trains. There once was a
6 were easily reading 5th grade level by the end of the 9-month school year. Even the very slowest child in the class graduated reading 3rd grade. Hooked on Phonics. It works.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
It has dual airbags, an energy-absorbing steering column,
and front and rear crumple zones. But unlike other luxury sedans, this one starts under $14,000. Because you shouldn't have to spend your life savings on a car that could very possibly save your life. The Nissan Altima. It's time to expect more from a car.
What's new from the Budget Gourmet?
Things that make you go, mmm.
Introducing Special Selections entrees. 12 new tastes at new low prices. It's budget, it's gourmet, it's both.
Optical illusions, electric dreams, the amazing and the fantastic. The latest movies, the hottest scenes. But how do they do it? Go behind the camera for an up-close look at the tricks of the trade and the special effects masters who make it all come true. Movie Magic, premiering next Thursday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, exclusively on the Discovery Channel.
Good take. Bike racers thrill us with their raw nerve and near balletic skill astride these blindingly fast machines. But they know only too well just how fine the line is between control and disaster. Today, even production bikes can match the power to weight ratios of Formula One race cars, but their chassis and front steering geometry are relatively antiquated. Heavy braking hurls the weight of the bike and the rider onto the front forks. They dive to the end of their travel to absorb the force. At the same time, the braking load is bending the front wheel back towards the engine, shortening the wheelbase for a few seconds. Then it's the frame's turn. Sometimes they twist like a pretzel, setting up oscillations in the front and back wheels that can unseat riders like slingshots. Over the last decade, there's been increased interest in refining steering geometry and suspension. All sorts of hybrids have emerged. Britain's Tony Folds, the Italian Bemotatesi with centre hub steering but slightly flawed by hydraulic steering, and the French effort, the Elf X, a forkless swing-arm design that was campaigned for a while in 500cc Grand Prix company, but just wasn't competitive. But 18 months ago, a top US design firm was approached to drape a body and fairing shape over a chassis and steering system unlike any they'd ever seen before. From the genesis of 44 design ideas came this pastel cafe rocker. As it swoops through the canyons of the Hollywood Hills, it exhibits none of the bad-mannered traits of conventional road racers. The bike was designed by James Parker, now one of the most respected suspension engineers in the US. His creation, the Rad MC Squared, doesn't have any forks at all. It uses a unique system known as parallel arm swing arm steering. The wheel is suspended by a single solid arm that arcs out from the body. The steering's done by another arm that runs down from the handlebars. Beneath the fairings is the running gear of a Yamaha 750 racer, but the wheelbase is a full 45 millimetres shorter, freed from the 28-degree rake angle that's required with forks. The closeness of the wheel to the engine gives much crisper steering response. Those that have ridden it say it's perhaps the most advanced street-legal bike in the world today. With the help of some friends, among them some of the top motorcycle and drag racing fabricators in the United States, James here has managed to build two bikes in one, a dazzling premonition of the styling of the future and a lithe and balanced street machine that could, without very little preparation, run in production bike racing. But he's also managed to build a radical steering and suspension system that is nothing short of a quantum leap in the evolution of the motorcycle. Take it away, Nick. RAD stands for Rationally Advanced Design Development. The MC Squared, rather prosaically, just stands for Motorcycle Prototype Number 2. But many experts agree that this is without doubt the blueprint for the bikes of the 1990s. Bikes that will be able to brake harder and later in corners, have virtually no dive under braking, and have more suspension travel to smooth out the road surface. Beyond that,
I think that motorcycle frames are going to change substantially, become much smaller and lighter and more efficient. And eventually, I hope to see engines specifically designed for this kind of system with components placed in new locations. For instance, carburetors facing to the front, exhaust to the rear, which will enable much more efficient use of the space on the motorcycle.
It's only with the fairing off that you start to appreciate the ingenuity and the compactness of the rad design. It's a bit difficult to understand at first sight, but this is the lower swing arm, which is made out of heat-treated aluminium, and it's extremely robust. This is the upright, which picks up on the center of the axle here, and the steering shaft up here. And when you apply steering torques, the steering is actually done through a ball joint down here, which is offset from the center of the axle. And what worried me when I first heard about this bike was how could you possibly have enough steering lock? But you can see that as you move the wheel isn't interrupted or interfered with in any way by this lower swing arm. In fact, the rad design has as much steering lock as any production bike on the market. And as regards shock absorbers, well, this isn't a shock absorber up here. The shock absorber is tucked very neatly up under here. And you can see how it operates when I start applying a bit of weight. A racing bike would generate 300 kilograms of braking force at the axle. But with the leverage effect of the forks, that becomes 500 kilograms at the steering head. So a large, heavy chassis has to be devised to cope with it. Using the rad swing arm steering, the braking load is the same, but there's no multiplication. It's still 300 kilograms when it's transmitted to the chassis. Once the swing arm steering concept is sufficiently proven, there could be some other exciting developments in store. Anti-locking brakes and active suspension. The rider would be able to dial in the height of the bike above the pavement for various road conditions. Or the onboard computer could do it all automatically. Low centre of gravity for city cruising, jacked up higher for faster and safer cornering. So, there you have it. Somehow I think that when the major manufacturers start to know a bit more about the rad, forks will be just for dirt bikes and for eating spaghetti.
Mr. Paul Adcock is about to do something extremely silly, but which hundreds of people do to themselves every year. With an ordinary blade, he would probably have taken off his toe. As it is, he's merely scratched the leather on his shoe. The same demonstration again, this time with a steel blade. Fortunately, there's no foot in the shoe. So what sort of blade was he using in the first demonstration, which burrs but does not bite? A four-bladed one made of polymer, which will probably make Mr. Adcock a small fortune. You've exposed the blade to quite a bit of punishment there, but it still actually hasn't disintegrated, has it? Could we just see what have you done to it? It's still completely...
Well, all we've done to the blade is just put a little bit of black shoe leather on, that's all, where it's just burnt away. You haven't actually cut through anything, you're just burning away at it with the speed, that's all that's happened. The blade's almost indestructible, so it's highly improbable you'll break it.
So anybody who'd been unfortunate or stupid enough to put their shoe in anyway for the length of time that we did would not have left it in for so long, would they?
Oh, no. If you have an accident, it's straight in and straight out. You wouldn't be doing this. This is just testing it to the ultimate.
Most serious injuries with lawnmowers occur when they're dragged backwards over the feet. But just as serious are those involving electric mowers. If you run over the lead with a steel blade, this is what happens. And there's a good chance that you could get an electric shock. But the polymer blades won't shear the cable. It might wind itself around the hub, but that's all. Mr. Adcock is a Yorkshire lawnmower engineer who hit upon the idea after a friend injured his foot in a mowing accident. After demonstrating the foot in the blade routine at a trade fair in Germany, he's received orders for the blade for more than $30 million. What made you decide to use polymer?
Impact resistance, energy absorption, good abrasion, flexibility. Can't find anything better. That is the material we were looking for, and I found it. It's absolutely superb.
What made you opt for the four-bladed design as opposed to a two-blade design?
There's two reasons, if I can show you. One, as you quite rightly say, having four edges compensates for the slightly worse cut, so you get almost perfect cut. But the main thing is the centre. We've got to get the energy absorption in there. So as it hits something, i.e. like that, you'll notice it flexes right across the centre, and that's what's absorbing the energy, and that's what takes the impact out to penetrate your foot or something like that. So it's actually the energy being absorbed, which is all part of it, and of course the flexibility as well.
Well, all right, it won't cut your foot, but does it cut the grass as smoothly as a steel cutter?
I personally say it doesn't cut exactly as good, but I've had many letters from people telling me it does. So I myself will be a little bit on the reserve and say it's almost as good. I think as good as you're ever going to get.
After the break, intimate details on my rendezvous with an older woman in Hungary.
Embark on a 3-hour journey across the enduring landscape of ancient Russia. Empire of the Red Bear. Tonight at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
I liked Marjorie the first day I laid eyes on her.
He was romantic even then. We started going together when we were 15.
Times were tough.
But we barely noticed.
We were married during the war.
I thought he looked handsome in a uniform.
She was right. 3 days ago, we celebrated our 50th anniversary.
He's still romantic.
For those who want to escape a gridlocked world, BMW has created the new all-season 325i convertible. It opens a whole new world, 365 days a year.
His talent was timeless, his gifts immeasurable. Leonardo's Legacy, the 1-hour season premiere of Invention, Tuesday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Owning a toy store isn't all fun and games. Well, sometimes. Problem is, I own 2 toy stores, so I got help from US West. My Yellow Pages ad gets me lots of business, and I never miss calls with my additional line. On the road, I use my US West cellular phone. US West helps me manage my time and business better. But I still take my work home with me. Testing, testing, testing.
US West, making the most of your time.
What makes the Carpet and Rug Factory outlet so unique? How about hundreds of Oriental-style rugs at unbelievable prices? Like our 6x9s from only $79. Or fantastic bargains on our bound area rugs, like our 9x12s as low as $99. Or visit our custom showroom for huge savings with factory direct pricing from the biggest carpet mills in the country. All this only at the Carpet and Rug Factory outlet, east of Mall 205 on Southeast Washington.
On the edge of the Carpathian Mountains in northern Hungary is a little spot where life hasn't changed much in ages. But this is a place of quite some mystery, and for scientists, even excitement. It's amazing to think of a sleepy village like Hippolytanos as a centre of worldwide scientific interest. But the previous inhabitants of this region are taking researchers on a journey back 23 million years. Researchers like paleontologist Dr. Laszlo Kordos has spent years of their life in this pretty valley, digging up the footprints left in the ancient mud puddles. painstaking work has uncovered one of the world's richest fossil deposits, a microcosm that tells us what life was like on Earth long before man's arrival. And now their efforts have been crowned under one huge hangar-like roof which holds a quite unique display of preserved prehistory. A volcanic explosion preserved a superbly detailed fossil record of plants and animals that once lived here, from giant trees to shark's teeth washed up in the time when this place was a beach on the edge of a giant sea that stretched from Europe to Asia. For paleontologists, this place is like a dream come true. A paleontologist works a little like a detective, except the event he's investigating took place 20 million years ago. What's left here is a frozen moment in the life of our planet all that time ago. It's frozen forever, like the ruins of Pompeii, but it's more than just a couple of thousand footprints in the dust. For the paleontologist, it's a picture of what life was really like on our planet all those thousands of centuries ago. Altogether, there are the remains of 2,000 footprints and 10,000 plants locked under the lava. From this we know the region was subtropical, perhaps about 20 degrees on the day of the volcanic eruption. This spot was a popular watering hole where about a dozen different creatures would come to drink, especially the prehistoric rhinoceros who abounded here. This was the home of several species of birds, a large beast of prey, something between a dog and a cat, very early deer species, and of course that large herd of hornless rhinos, until the eruption that forced them to flee and changed the landscape forever. It must have been quite a pleasant place back then.
Yes, I think it was a very pleasant place because not too far from here was the sea. And here is a very rich vegetation, a tropical and subtropical climate, and with a lot of nice and large animals. I think it was more pleasant than today.
The sort of place we might go for a holiday if we were around?
So why not?
The footprints at Ipoitanos are unique enough. But these days, Dr. Kordos spends most of his time here at the Hungarian Institute of Geology, working with a tremendously exciting new find. I'd like you to meet a very special Hungarian lady, Rudi. Rudopithecus hungaricus was a female ancestor of both man and ape. She lived about 10 million years ago until she drowned in the swamps of northern Hungary, where she slept undisturbed for 10 million years. For Dr. Kordos, it's the find of a lifetime, physical proof of the brilliance of early evolutionists like Charles Darwin.
The Rudopithecus find is very, very important from this case because this is the first skull in the world from this period. And now we know its position, this common ancestor position.
Her discovery in an abandoned iron mine late in 1985 caused a sensation and has made Dr. Kordos a star among bone collectors all over the world. The bones and teeth were in such remarkable condition that Rudi is one of the most valuable skulls ever reconstructed. Rudi is helping to fill in the gaps in our knowledge about where we all came from. Being 10 million years old, Rudi and her friends were common ancestors of both primates, like the chimpanzee, and mankind. But somewhere along the line of evolution, about 5 million years back, apes and people diverged. We're still to answer this riddle, the first signs of mankind, but Rudi is the very finest record we have that takes us back before the days of that missing link. Not bad looking considering her age. I wonder what will be left of us 10,000 centuries from now.
The Japanese have a long-standing love affair with technology, and particularly with robots. There are droves of them doing various jobs the length and breadth of the country. Robots to build robots, robots to build watches, clean houses, even robots to teach skiing. Now they have another field of endeavour to invade, and their first foothold is here in Osaka, amongst the pachinko parlours and the shopping arcades. A small coffee shop that serves scrumptious-looking cakes and sweets, but also has a growing clientele who like their coffee mixed, brewed and poured by this adroit little droid. Isn't that amazing? You can see there's very few places left to hide from our little cybernetic friends. What we're looking at is a robot assembly line arm, a pick-and-place robot that you'd see in a factory, which is one of the reasons why it's cased up in glass like that, because it's really quite powerful, and if it forgot its computer memory, it could really do quite a lot of damage. But it's been very well behaved since it was installed, and rarely spills a drop, which is why Sakashita, the owner, is able to keep his prices down and the quality up. The robot has a limited repertoire, but performs it admirably. First, the client orders, then the staff relay the request by entering it into a menu-driven keypad. The robot confirms the order audibly and then sets about knocking up a potion to appease the most discerning caffeinophile. Sensors guide the pick-and-place arm unerringly, and the coffee grinder itself is also automated, dispensing the exact blend strength for the various orders. It's the accent of the speech synthesis software, though, that gets the most laughs. Sakashita is still dreaming of the day when a series of small, intelligent and quite placid robots would be able to patrol his shop, perhaps telling jokes to customers, and with their ultra-sensitive, sophisticated sensors, even be able to tell what their heart rate or their pulse rate was, and be able to say something like, "Client son, boy, you had a heavy night last night. You really need a strong cup of coffee." It's possible. This is the first coffee-making robot. I'm sure it won't be the last.
Next on Beyond 2000, flying into the future aboard a plane that rewrites the rulebook.
Taking a camera into a whale's world.
The whale suddenly turned towards Tony and rammed him.
Recapturing the first moments of flight. Filming an angry shark face to face.
The great excitement of coming through it unscathed.
Now you can go behind the scenes of the Discovery Channel with the exclusive video, Secrets of Discovery. How do you get it? It's free, only when you subscribe to Destination Discovery, the award-winning monthly magazine and program guide that heightens your viewing. Intriguing articles that cover your world, from whales, wheels, and wings to faraway, fascinating places. There's no better guide for planning what you want to watch on the Discovery Channel. Call 1-800-832-8343 now and get 12 issues of Destination Discovery for $19.97. That's 1/3 off the cover price, and the home video is yours free. Call now, 1-800-832-8343.
Now, Mr. Fidelford, we'll talk about the painting.
Okay.
Now, for the powder room, I want you to match this thread, and don't lose it. It's the only spool I have, and I had an awful time finding it. As you can see, it's practically an apple red, somewhere between a healthy wine sap and an unripened Jonathan.
Uh-huh.
Even the most demanding job has a simple answer at your Benjamin Moore dealer. Call 1-800-826-2623 for the dealer nearest you. Benjamin Moore, a stroke of brilliance.
I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away the gray for a totally natural look. No wonder 8 out of 10 women prefer the Just for Men look to the gray look.
It's like you took off 10 years.
And in just 5 minutes.
Just for Men. She'll love the way you look.
It has dual airbags, an energy-absorbing steering column, and front and rear crumple zones. But unlike other luxury sedans, this one starts under $14,000. Because you shouldn't have to spend your life savings on a car that could very possibly save your life. The Nissan Altima. It's time to expect more from a car.
What's new from the Budget Gourmet?
Things that make you go, mmm.
Introducing Special Selections entrees. 12 new tastes at new low prices. It's budget, it's gourmet, it's both.
Although Christopher Columbus was born more than 500 years ago here in the Italian city of Genoa,
His talents were unrecognized by his countrymen, and all of the gold that flowed from his discoveries in the New World went to Spain instead of to Italy. Well, the Italians, of course, are unwilling to repeat that error in a new Genoese venture aimed at capturing even more riches from America.
This is the P-180 Avanti, one of the most advanced executive aircraft in the world. Designed and assembled in Genoa by the Italian aircraft manufacturer Piaggio, it's all set for a major assault on the American business jet market. Executive jet and turboprop aircraft can be enormously expensive, not only to buy, but to run. A Learjet or a Falcon carrying 6 to 10 passengers can cost anything between $3.5 and $9 million to buy, and anything up to $750,000 a year in fuel and maintenance to operate. The Avanti's extraordinary qualities will enable it to operate far more economically than any other plane in its class. For example, it uses only half of the fuel of the most efficient business jets, and at the same time outperforms them in almost every other area. It's as fast as many of the jets, and faster than any other turboprop. And importantly, it can take off and land from hundreds of airfields which the jets can't handle. Computer-aided design techniques enabled the Italians to develop a design dramatically different from any other commercial aircraft now flying. A masterpiece in streamlining, its fuselage cross-section graduates constantly from front to back in a smooth compound curve, not unlike the shape of a dolphin. In the wind tunnel, the Avanti models demonstrated superb aerodynamics. The speed and efficiency of any aircraft is influenced substantially by the degree of laminar flow it can achieve. That is, how closely the onrushing air adheres to the aircraft as it sweeps from nose to tail. The Avanti achieved a near-perfect laminar flow.
There's not much doubt that the most distinctive feature of the Avanti are the fixed canard wings at the nose here. It's one of the first commercial aircraft to make use of canards, which act like a third lifting surface. That's one here at the nose, one on the main wing, and one on the tailplane at the rear. And the canards give the aircraft a really significant increase in aerodynamic performance over a whole range of flight conditions.
Piaggio says that as a true lifting surface, the forward wing is much more than a canard. In most flight conditions, the weight of the airplane acts ahead of the wing, requiring nose-up trimming or a negative force from the tailplane. The forward wing on the Avanti creates a positive lift, allowing the horizontal tail surface to also act as a lifting surface, and for the main wing to be positioned further aft, behind all the cabin windows, and to be much smaller, thus reducing weight, drag, and fuel consumption. The surface of the wings, like the fuselage, is exceptionally smooth, with no rivets penetrating the outer surfaces. The wings and other parts of the fuselage are produced in the plant near Genoa, which is presently gearing up for production of up to 150 aircraft a year.
One of the more interesting aspects of the P-180 wing is that, like some fighter aircraft, and unlike almost all commercial jet airliners and executive jets, they're not made from sheet aluminium. The whole thing, ribs, stiffeners, the lot, is machined from one single huge block of aluminium. And what that does is not only give the wing great strength, but also an exceptionally smooth surface, aerodynamically clean, with far fewer rivet holes than normal.
In a static test rig, a full-scale version of the aircraft is tested way beyond its normal lifespan. The body is subjected to all of the forces and stresses it would encounter in flight, and wires from hundreds of sensors relay the relevant test information back to the engineers and scientists.
On the wing, the push and pull of the hydraulic jack is delivered through a series of steps to be spread across the entire surface of the wing and thereby simulate the aerodynamic load. And that goes on for weeks and months and years.
In introducing what is virtually a new generation of aircraft, this sort of testing is crucial in the run-up to certification. Failure in a vital part could spell disaster for the project. About 20% of the aircraft body is made of composite materials such as high-strength carbon fiber. These sections, including the engine fairings, are produced by the Sikorsky Company in the United States. The The aircraft is designed to fly at 41,000 feet, that's about 13,000 meters, and reach 440 miles or 740 kilometers an hour in level flight, making it the fastest propeller-driven aircraft in production. When fitted out for business flying, it will be quite luxurious and carry between 6 and 9 passengers, with more internal space than most other similar business jets. At $3.7 million each, the P-180 Avanti is not cheap, but it's less than most of its competitors. And Piaggio is hoping that the combination of high performance and good value will capture a significant share of the executive aircraft market for the Avanti, and around $400 million a year. The aviation industry is watching the Piaggio experiment closely. If it succeeds, it could be the forerunner of a whole new breed of future commuter aircraft.
Take the first step on an infinite voyage where imagination and science meet. From the mysteries of the mind to ancient pioneers frozen in time. Join us tonight at 7 as Discovery presents Infinite Voyage. Artillery strike tonight on Firepower.
Sorry.
It was delicious.
How about a cappuccino?
You have a cappuccino machine?
This may take a while.
From Maxwell House. Maxwell House Cappuccino. The magic without the machine.
This is great. John, show me how the machine works.
We are on the forefront of attempting to develop entrepreneurship as a way of life here. MCI understands that this is a two-way street.
The businesses in the community band together through the chamber. With Proof Positive, you save money. You always get MCI's best price. MCI always does what's right for you.
It's helped us grow small businesses into large businesses.
It's not just one business out there, it's the whole community trying to make Sioux City a better place to live.
This portion of Discovery is brought to you in part by Chrysler Plymouth.
In the late 1700s, Spanish missionaries Pacific only on the Discovery Channel. Optical illusions, electric dreams, the amazing and the fantastic, the latest movies, the hottest scenes. But how do they do it? Go behind the camera for an up-close look at the tricks of the trade and the special effects masters who make it all come true. Movie Magic, premiering next Thursday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, exclusively on the Discovery Channel.
Good take.
Good.
Share the tender moments of creatures great and small. Next on Mother Nature.